Good morning, Amanda. Thanks for coming in the office. I'm just calling in, talking to some seniors. I'm just trying to find out kind of what your goals are, kind of what you're looking to do for college, how school's going, and then we'll just kind of talk from there. And as you know, anytime that you come in the office, anything that we talk about is always confidential unless you tell me you're going to hurt yourself or you're going to hurt somebody. And then I have to act upon that. Okay?
Okay.
Tell me about kind of where things are in school right now, kind of where your plans are. We're coming upon November. Are you planning to take the ACT this weekend or next month or the SAT? Have you thought about those options yet?
Yeah, I'm taking the ACT this weekend, and then I'm going to take the SAT in the beginning of December.
Okay. I believe that's December 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. And November the 8th is that deadline. I will make you for ACT and SAT.
Okay.
That. So ACT is this Saturday. How are you feeling about that?
I feel pretty good. Like, I know with some of the schools that I want to go to, it doesn't have to be like super high.
Okay.
So, and since this is my first one, I kind of just want to go in and see what I know, and then I can go back and study the parts that I don't know.
Right. See what the test looks like.
Yeah.
In the AVID program, do y'all do any of the? Does he have a way that y'all can practice some of those questions?
Yeah, he has this. We have this website that we're allowed to go on.
Okay.
And look at,
and it gives you some practice questions.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
so
it's like there's like practice tests and study guides and stuff
all of
like
that.
that.
So how are you kind of feeling about going into the test tomorrow, based on what you've done with the practice?
I feel like I'll do pretty good. Like, I know math isn't typically my strong suit, but I know that with the calculator and with the knowledge that I do have, I think I'll be able to do pretty well on it.
To do that, yeah. Always just looking at what's the question, asking, and always, you know, one of your best study skills or test taking skills is go with what your gut answer. Don't start second guessing yourself for that. So this weekend ACT, December SAT, and then tell me what schools you've been looking at.
Well, I was looking at UT Arlington, but like their nursing program is like, it's one of the better ones, so it's really, really hard to get into.
Okay.
And I've been looking at SFA, which has both psychology and nursing.
Okay.
If I decided to go with either one of those, and that school is a little bit easier to go into, and actually, it's not as expensive as
Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not as expensive as UT Arlington. So those are the two main ones that I've been looking at. But
okay.
I've been looking at like Howard Payne, and
okay.
I did apply to Howard Payne, but I don't have my test scores, so
to complete that process.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you started the application process for UTA or SFA?
Yes. I wanted to wait until I take my tests in order before I send them, and like get my transcripts sent in first before I send in the application.
Okay. Now, these schools, do they require a an essay to go along with your application?
I don't remember. Howard Payne didn't. I do know that one because you applied, with that one you applied on the website, not with Apply Texas.
Right.
And I think, I want to say UTA needs an essay, but like they were optional, they weren't required.
Right.
So, but I'll have to go back and look at that.
Okay. And the reason I ask is because you don't want to let time get away of giving yourself time to write that essay. And talked about nursing and psychology. What brings you to those career fields?
Well, with like nursing, I went through a lot of like different things, but like, and I like, and not just nursing, but like the adrenaline and like just the helping of people. Like I always, like my thing was I want to find a way to impact the world, and you know, anybody can go do fundraisers or do donations, but like I feel like the only way that I personally would really be able to make an impact on the world was to be a nurse. Like to go through in the ER and help these people, or work with the kids, you know, that have cancer or something like that. Like I just feel like that's what I should do. And with psychology, I like it. Like it's something new every day. Just like, you know, with nursing, it's something different every day.
Right.
So with psychology, it's kind of the same thing. You know, these people who have mental problems or psychological problems, you know, by by learning it and by doing it, you know, I'd be able to help them
Right.
get
Right.
through it.
So do you feel like you're kind of more led to work with children than adults?
I hadn't really thought about it.
Okay.
Being a nurse, I'd want to work in the ER,
Right. Right.
or with the babies,
Mm-hmm.
and like the prenatal type, or I forgot what it's called, but with the little ones.
Right.
And with psychology, I think I'd like to do children's psychology,
Mm-hmm.
only because like I've got the stuff that I've gone through, like I'd be able to help them.
Right.
And,
Right. So you're thinking your own personal experiences would help you be able to work with those
Yeah.
children better. You would be able to bring some things to the table that you just didn't learn in a book.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. I think that's a great, kind of a great plan of action. I know when we had talked before, we had talked about an interest inventory and kind of an aptitude test that you had done just to kind of see what some of your skills were, what some of the values and things that were important to you when you start thinking about your career. What were some of those skills from that?
One of them was business management, which
Okay.
I had thought about going into business. And I can't remember, I want to say it was like people skills and like organizational skills and kind of stuff like that. I don't really remember, but it was
Right.
kind of like the
Right.
those skills.
People and organizational skills, which, okay, so those skills are going to be important skills, and those are skills that are going to help you throughout college and finishing out your senior year of being able to stay on top of those things. And I know from talking to you at different points in times, I know communication is a positive for you and being able to talk to people and comfortable in various scenarios. And so kudos to you for having that skill. Have you looked at, and I'm going to give you some resources today too, for looking more at the nursing career. And then, and I don't know if you've looked at ONET online. I'll put this on your notes sheet. I would go, ONET online is a great resource for different careers, and it kind of talks about skills that you need, different degrees that you might need for different areas. And if you just type in nursing, it'll give you a list of potential careers that you might not even have thought about. Just a little bit, going back and looking at UTA, SFA, and some of those options for college, kind of hand in hand with that is scholarships and financial aid. Have you been able to research, or do you know, can I provide you with some resources for finding some scholarships?
I've looked into some scholarships. I haven't really gotten too deep into it because like the big scholarships, they ask for your income, and my dad makes too much money for me to like get financial aid
Through
those,
FAFSA?
Yeah, and get those like really big scholarships. So I kind of just been looking at the small ones.
Okay.
You know, like the everyday scholarships.
Right,
that maybe,
right.
You know, I'll be a lucky one and get it.
Now, I don't want you to think be a lucky one, because I don't know if you've looked on the counselor's website, and I can show you where that's at. And there is, and it's like 30 pages, and I'm not exaggerating that. 30. You have multiple, you know, scholarships. Some of them are 100, some are 500, some are thousands, and some of them it's writing an essay, you know, on a topic. And people go, I'm not going to write an essay. I'm not going to put that much time into it. And so then nobody, you know, applies for it, you know, want to. So always think about scholarships as kind of another part-time job for you that, you know, you're kind of paying yourself when those pay off, you know, at the end.
As I got into Avid later, like they'd already started like the SAT, ACT process, and they've already started that process. So because I came in later, like I'm behind from the other seniors that are in Avid. So like I haven't, like they were working on essays and scholarships as soon as we started the year.
Right.
Whereas I wasn't able to do that. So like when they were applying for college, I'm doing SAT and ACT applications. So I haven't even started that.
So you feel like you're kind of at a point of, I gotta kick it in high gear now
Yeah.
to get it all done.
Yeah, because like
Okay.
they're getting acceptance letters,
Uh-huh,
whereas I haven't even sent in applications yet.
right.
So it's
Right.
it's frustrating, but at the same time, it kind of gives me the extra push to get it done.
To your motivation to look and keep filling out and getting all the pieces together
Yeah.
for that. Okay, so we've talked about SAT and ACT. You have ACT coming up tomorrow,
Mhm.
so good luck with that. And then SAT in about a month, and then November 8th is that deadline. And so if you need any help getting the application process filled out for that, or registration, let me know. We talked a little bit about UTA, SFA, and Howard Payne, we think are your colleges of choice right now
Mhm.
for nursing and psychology. And then we also talked about you looking at ONET online. Like I say, I put that on the paper for you. And then looking at scholarship opportunities and what are available. And those change, they add to and take away
Mhm.
on that list that the link is on the counselor's website. So don't forget about that. And then your local scholarships that'll start coming up
Yeah,
in a few months.
Mr. Gann last year said that the district had over, there was a big amount of money because nobody applied.
Nobody
to them.
applies, and so that's why I don't want you to discount yourself and think, oh, I'm getting a late start, because those things are still doable. Okay, it's any extracurricular, like service projects outside of school, or organizations that you're involved in here at school that do outside service projects.
Not really. Like I'd like to start. I'm gonna actually look into that really soon. Like especially over fall break and Christmas break.
Right.
But like with Avid, we host the Special Ed Olympics, and we do that in May. And actually our senior field trip this year is gonna be to do something outside of the community, or like within the DFW area, but outside of our our community is. But
Okay.
I like to do service project. Like I'm gonna work on getting those.
Trying to find some on your own.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason I ask that is because on the scholarships and on your college applications, those are some things that they're going to look at.
Yeah.
Besides just looking at your grades, looking at attendance, and all of those things, they want to see, are you well-rounded?
Mm-hmm.
Have any other questions or concerns that you have about what's coming next, and what you need to continue to do your senior year to prepare? I mean, it sounds like you have an idea, you kind of have a plan of action here. I'm going to give you a couple of goals, okay? To check out ONET online and find out a little bit, some information about your career. And then UTA and SFA, I want you to check out their website again and check for essays. When are those things due? And then I want you to double check their deadlines. And then in relation to their deadlines and when your test scores with that December SAT, and then those test scores, and when do we need to make sure we have this stuff completed. Okay, I want you to work on that, and then I'm going to check back with you in a couple weeks and kind of see how that's going. Okay, so then we can, this semester in the fall, help make sure we've got you on the right track. Everything else is going good for you?
Yep.
Good. Just kind of enjoying your senior year?
Yeah. Trying to, between work and staying busy. So.
Right. Being able to fight senioritis?
Yeah, I mean,
Good.
For the most part, with my homework, I just get frustrated, and then I kind of just go back to it the next morning. But I'm feeling it, but at the same time, I'm not. Just kind of.
I think everybody at this point in the year starts to feel, I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm ready to be done.
Yeah.
But knowing you still have to stay focused.
Yeah.
And so you say you work on your homework, you get frustrated, but you come back to it.
Yeah.
And so that's a positive, that you're not going, okay, well, I'm not coming back to it. I'm just going to set it over here and forget about it completely for that. Okay, here's your list of to-dos and your resources. I'm going to give that to you to work on, and we'll talk in a couple of weeks. Unless you need something, before that, you can come on by. That's no big deal. But we'll talk.